What's a computer? When using the word computer, people are often referring to the entire package of everything you need to use the computer. Strictly speaking though, the computer is something like this. It is a desktop, often called a tower. They come in many shapes and sizes of computers. They have evolved over the past 20 years, but the traditional tower-style computer is currently the most common. So what are the components required in a computer system, what people often refer to as a computer? Well, you have the monitor. This is the method of seeing the information that the computer is wanting to display and allow you to interact with the computer. More recently, these have now become in a single package, so you can get a computer which has the display or the monitor combined. But this is new. Whether this is where the trends are going to go, not quite sure. But at a minimum, just always think of a computer and a monitor as can be completely independent. Then you need to interact with the computer, and then of course the traditional mouse and also keyboard is the way to go. There are now touchscreen computers, especially the all-in-one computers, and they sound great, but at the moment the software that has been written for computers is designed to be used with a mouse and a keyboard. So although you may have a touch screen, you'll find to interact with it just with a touch screen alone is a little bit clumsy, and so you'll not really get away without using a mouse or a keyboard. Then computers often have speakers. They require something called a sound card in them. This is a way for the computer itself to interpret the sound and to output it, and then you plug in the speakers to get that. Also there you can just plug in headphones as well. The sound card would come in most modern computers as standard. Building on top of the computer, there needs to have an operating system called an OS. This is the core software, and you might be familiar with the term Windows. So a computer you'll buy typically with a Windows version of software, and we have a separate section specifically on operating systems. If I just talk about Windows at the moment, there are different versions of Windows. For example, you may be familiar with the term Windows XP, Windows Vista, Windows 7, and more recently Windows 8 that is coming. Please do look at the other section on the operating system just to kind of understand what the other options are available to you. Once your computer has this base software in it, this operating system, you then use applications, e.g. Word, Excel, Photoshop, Nero. Those are just some general software. Even Internet Explorer you might be more familiar with. That's the software, that's an application that you use on the operating system. Each bit of software extends your computer's functionality and allows you to do tasks specific perhaps to your role or your hobby that you want to do. Then you might want to add to your computer system or your computer solution and add a printer to print out the documents. You might want to add a scanner to scan paper documents and put them in electronic format. And often the printer scanners, you get these all-in-ones now. The final bit of hardware that you might want to add is a modem. This often comes from your internet service provider automatically. So for example, in Australia, I might speak to Telstra or Dodo or iiNet, and I might ask them for internet. They will ask me what speeds I'm interested in, and we've got another section that talks about that. But when they ask you, do you want a modem? Well, if you don't already have one, yes, you will need a modem to plug into your computer. And that's it. So to answer the question, what is a computer? Strictly speaking, this is a computer. But people often throw in any of the other items when they're talking about buying a computer, and they'll refer to the whole thing as a computer. That's it.